We wanted to show you a specific example of the way UDL can work for struggling learners and your general curriculum learners as well. So there's a specific article that Winona Spivak from the University of Cincinnati wrote entitled Using the UDL Framework to Support English Language Learners. So the first step of UDL is what she presents is that information is presented in multiple content areas. So this would mean presenting information in multiple means. So you could, specifically with English language learners, you could present language objectives for the students to reach in every lesson, or you could show videos or play songs that demonstrate the vocabulary terms you're trying to teach them within context. And you could gradually decrease the use of supports so that the English language learners take over the digital test reader's role as they adjust to the pronunciation rate and the inflection of the reading. That is, if you're using a reading tool to help them learn. So a specific example I can think of is when teaching English language learners common like articles like the and a and stuff like that. You could talk to them about how they're only used in certain contexts. So I know that they use L and lo, and I'm not that familiar with Spanish, but if I was talking about Spanish, and then you could allow them to, within a text that they're looking at, to match up their articles they know with the articles in English, and also point out the articles that are in English that they might not be using, or vice versa. So that's a specific example which you can do that. The second part of UDL.
The second part of UDL is also having multiple means of representation for students. So this means not just having text, but also having audio, visual, anything that can aid different types of learners and different types of students that you'll have in your classroom. And specifically for English language learners, they're tackling understanding a language, understanding the culture associated with that language, and also whatever you're trying to teach that student. So that's a lot to handle for a student in a classroom, especially if they're pretty young. So it's important to give our students as many aids and resources that they can have, and so they can build those connections and make those connections in different ways. So one way of doing this is having word walls to describe words, and having pictures associated with those words. So maybe if you're talking about ecosystems, have an actual station that shows what an ecosystem looks like, or a rainforest, having a little display on the board that shows what a rainforest looks like, or a solar system, anything that you're really teaching. So mainly just having different ways for students to see things. If you want to incorporate video, make sure that video also has text for students that may be hard of hearing or even deaf. I've even seen teachers actually physically make songs and dances for vocab terms, which is really helpful for everyone. It gets people engaged, and it is a way to represent information differently.
Just to add, another way as well as like us presenting the information in multiple means, we should also allow the English language learners to have ways to show us that they understand. So if they may not be the best writer, you shouldn't make them write with a pencil and pen. Maybe they type it, maybe they just make a video of them talking. So that's a good thing to keep in mind with these two standards of UDL too.
Yes, and for the third part of this example, we can see that UDL framework also help teachers relate the new language with the old one that the English language learner are familiar with. For example, offering the choice for the topic that students can explore within the content area, or providing the notes for students to avoid they don't understand the content in the class, and make the connection between the student native language and the English. Maybe teacher will provide some Spanish translation of this English work to make better understanding of this. And according to this principle, we can easily find out that teacher can provide some resource that can relate the general courses with the thing which students get familiar with or which students are fond of, such as some contents with the information that students have already know, and video games that students would like to play. So that is the information we have already found out for teachers to applying the UDLs framework in general course education.